today we're going to be talking about vectors in a Cartesian plane. Okay, and when we talk about Cartesian plane, we're talking about coordinates. So we're going to use what we know about coordinates and what we know so far about vectors, okay, to talk about vectors in a Cartesian plane. Okay, so when we refer to coordinates and everything, okay, we want to talk about that lah. So first of all, when you are given a coordinate, okay, when you're given a certain coordinate, okay, it's very important to us for us to know that any coordinate given, okay, any coordinate given, for example, let's say I give you this coordinate. Okay, this coordinate is 2 and 6. Okay, and um, let's say this is point A lah. Okay, now point A, and then this one, let's say I have a vector from origin all the way to point A. Okay, and so we find that if I give you any coordinate, I can immediately build a vector from there, where I can say that vector OA is equals to 2i plus 6j. Where did I get the 2 and the 6? From this coordinate. Okay, I got the 2 and the 6 from the coordinate of 2 and 6. Okay, at the same time, what is this meaning? What is this I and what is this j? Okay, that's the question we need to talk. Okay, so I and j refers to the way that the thing dia berjalan lah. Okay, so I is talking about horizontal movement and j is talking about the vertical movement. Horizontal means left to right, left or right lah, and then vertical is up or down. Okay, and besides that, okay, the numbers tell us whether it is moving left or right or up and down. Okay, if it is a positive number, it is either moving up or it is moving to the right. The vector lah, the vector. If it is a negative number, then it is either moving downwards or it is moving to the left. Okay, so these are a few things that we need to know. So let's come back to this OA. If you notice, actually it is the OA is a combination of 2 steps to the right, that's why it's 2i, and then 6 steps up, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6j over here, 2i. So that's what this OA means. Okay, so any coordinate I give you, okay, any coordinate I give you can be written as a vector starting from origin. Okay, that's the first important thing. Now, how do we write the vectors? Okay, we either write it using 2i plus 6j, or another way that we can write it is by writing it like this. It means the same thing. 2 means it's going 2 steps to the right. 6 means it's going 6 steps upwards. Okay, 6 steps up, because it is a positive number. Okay, so that's the first thing. So any coordinate in the Cartesian system can tell us the position vector. Okay, starting from origin lah, definitely starting from origin. That's why it's OA, because it starts from the origin. Okay, but let's say I want to talk about the example that we're doing today lah. Okay, let's take a look at this example. If you take a look at this vector A, okay, we analyze first vector A. We see that vector A is moving downwards and then rightwards. Okay, down and right. So we look and see how many steps down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 steps downwards. Okay, and then after that, how many steps to the right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 steps to the right. Okay, let's bring this all together. How do we write the vector of A? The vector of A will be 5 to the right, so it's I. Positive, because it is to the right. Okay, and then the 6, 6j bahkan, but it's going downwards. So we say negative. Okay, negative 6j. That's why you get this answer. And the alternative way to write this answer is to write like this. This is so much easier, kan? If you write it in matrix form, much easier. But you have to know both forms. Okay, so there are 5 questions over there, okay, which I want you to do now. Okay, same thing. Every vector, tell me what is the vector in terms of I and in terms of j. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do this, and after that, I'm going to call people. All right, let's take a look. So number 1, 7i plus 3j. Okay, good. Don't forget to write the wormy things. This one. Okay, the cha-ching lah. Number 2, 5i plus 7j. Okay, Michi, how do you get 7j minus 5i? Look at the direction of this vector. This is going to the right and going to the up. So it's definitely both is positive. Okay? So the 5i should actually be, positive. 5i plus 7j, or actually if you say 7j plus 5i also can, no problem. But when you write it like this, the I must be on top. Okay, the number with the I must be at the top. The number with the J must be at the bottom. Okay, be very careful. All right, number 3, 6i minus 7j. Okay, because this is going to the right and to the down. So the I must be positive, the J must be negative. Number 4, this is Dennis one. 9i plus 7j, very good. Okay, this is to the right and up. Okay, last one, David. David. Look at the direction of this vector. Oh, where is the starting point? The starting point is actually here, bahkan. This is the starting. This is the finish. So you go to start to finish is you're going left and down. So both numbers must be negative. Okay, David, do you understand why? Okay, so the answer is negative 7i minus 6j, and in brackets it will be negative 7 and negative 6. Okay, careful. Always look at the arrow to see which is the direction it's moving. Okay, let's go to number 2. The second thing that we need to know is to how to find the unit vector. Okay, so we can use coordinates to help us to find unit vectors. Okay, and take a look at this. So this is how you write unit vectors. Okay, a unit vector. So this original vector, let's say the original vector is this lah. Okay, so the original vector is xi plus yj. So this is the original vector. Okay, the unit vector, okay, is written almost like the same, except that there is a topi on top. Okay, there's like a hat on top of the vector. So what is the difference between the original vector and a unit vector? Okay, the difference is this. The unit vector, the magnitude of the unit vector is equals to 1. Okay. Whereas the original vector, the magnitude can be any particular number lah. But when you find the magnitude of a unit vector, okay, as long as you see the topi up here, you immediately know that the magnitude of the unit vector is equals to 1. This is definitely. Ini pasti. Okay. So how do you find the unit vector from the original vector? Okay, let's take a look at the example. So it is a 2-step process. So this is the original vector. Okay, the original vector is u equals to 2i minus 5j. So step number 1 is find the magnitude of the original vector. Okay, let me ask Sinbury this time because Sinbury is the one that answered this. Sinbury, what do we use to find magnitude? Okay, we use Pythagoras Theorem. Okay, we use the numbers, okay, to find the to use Pythagoras Theorem. So that's why this 2 becomes 2, and then this negative 5 becomes negative 5 squared. But be very careful, everybody. This is where I see a lot of people make mistake. Whenever you type negative 5 squared, okay, make sure in your calculator you write like this. Okay, make sure the negative 5 everything is squared in a bracket. Okay, don't write like this in your calculator. This is definitely you'll get a wrong answer. Okay, that's why it becomes plus. So you get square root of 29. Now, I don't want you to answer in this way, okay, because, okay, the second step is divide the magnitude with the original, astaga, original vector. Okay, so you divide the magnitude with the original vector. So the original vector is 2i minus 5j. So everything you divide by the square root of 29. So how would this look like? Okay, so the unit vector, the unit vector is equals to 2 divided by square root of 29i, okay, minus 5 divided by square root of 29j. I want you to write your answer like this. I don't want you to follow this one. Don't want. I want you to write your answer like this. Okay, 2 over 29i minus 5 over 29j. Now, sometimes, let's say you calculate the magnitude. When you calculate the magnitude, you will get a very ugly number like this one. What is the square root of 29? Anybody, can you tell me? Okay, 5.385 or something like that. Okay, so when you square root, I think you get a very weird number, right? Okay, don't use the weird number. Just use the square root like this. Okay, so you get 2 over square root 29i minus 5 over square root 29j. Okay, don't go and use the decimal place. But what if you get a very nice number? For example, let's say this is square root 100. How much is square root 100? Okay, square root 100 is 10. So let's say you square root already, and then the number come out very nice one. Okay, very lang one. So if that one happens, then you use the very lang number. So you get 2 over 10i minus 5 over 10j. Contoh example. So I don't want to see this kind of answer. 2 over 5.385i. I don't want to see this kind of answer. Either it is a very nice number, or it is a very nice number but got the square root over there. Okay, that's how you would answer this. But you must check first, check and see, make sure that when you square it, the number is nice or not nice. If it is nice, use the nice number. If it is not nice, just use the square root. Okay, so the same thing again, this one a little bit longer. I give you 10 minutes to answer the 5 questions, and then I'm going to call the next 5 people up. Okay, actually, you know what? You know who the next 5 people are already, right? Okay, let's set it lah. Everybody try the question, but I want Deborah number 1, Yvonne number 2, Freya number 3, Weichen number 4, Stephanie number 5. Okay, Deborah, Yvonne, Freya, Weichen, Stephanie. And then the last one, we give everything to Wong Song. No, kidding. Okay, so Deborah, Yvonne, Freya, Weichen, and Stephanie, you answer the question that you're supposed to do first. Okay, but everybody, please finish the 5 questions in the next 10 minutes. Okay, remember, find the magnitude, divide the magnitude to find the unit vector. Okay, 10 minutes. The 5 of you, once you have your answer, just write down your answer in this one. Because there is no square root, right? You don't know how to write square root. So let's say the answer is like this, right? I will say 2 over square root 29. 这样子 you write like this. Okay, so that I know that there is a square root over there. Okay, let's take a look, everybody. So number 1, Deborah says 1 over square root of 3i plus 2 over square root of 3. How do you get square root of 3? What did I say just now? I said there, the negative one, when you square, careful, okay? Type this into your calculator, okay? Must have the bracket, not like this. This will give you a different answer, okay? So the negative one, the whole thing has to be squared, okay, in AR into this. So actually is negative 1 over square root of 5, okay, plus 2 over square root of 5j. So the step actually correct, Adila. Okay, I think Deborah, the step is correct, except that, don't forget this, the negative. Okay, let's look at number 2. Number 2 is 4 over 5i minus 3 over 5j. Okay, so hers is quite nice lah, because the negative 3 square become 9, then you get square root 25, you get 5. So 4 over 5i minus 3 over 5j. Okay, good. Let's look at number 3. Number 3, free essay is negative 5 over 41i, okay, minus 4 over 41j. Okay, I'm going to ignore this. So negative 5 over 41 square root I minus 4 over square root of 41j. Okay, you can leave your answer as that. Okay, no worries. Right, good. Number 4, we can say 5 over 13 negative, okay, plus 12 over 13. Negative 5 over 13i plus 12 over 13j. Because when you square root this, you get a very nice number. So no problem. All right, last one, Stephanie. 4 over square root 52i minus 6 over square root 52j. Okay, same. 4 over square root 52i minus 6 over square root 52j. Okay, the square root you get is 52. So if anything, everybody, if anything about this one that you should learn is be very careful when you're squaring negative number. Okay, don't just press and then faster get the answer. Make sure that the negative also has to be squared. Okay, because remember, negative 6 squared is equals to negative 6 times negative 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Negative times negative is always a positive number. Okay, so be very careful. Inside here, always plus 1. Okay, you won't get minus. Pythagoras Theorem. Okay, now one last part. We're going to talk about one last part and then this one. So now we're going to solve simple vectors. Okay, and this is like a combination of what we learned yesterday. Now we come to a situation where we want to use operations on different vectors. So for example, in this one, vector A and then vector B, and then they ask you to find the vector of A minus 3B. Okay, so you take this one, substitute the vector A, substitute the vector B, and you get this one. This is A minus 3B. Okay, and then what do? You multiply. So negative 3 times 2 will give you negative 6. Be very careful with this, everybody. Negative times positive will give you negative. This one, sure got a lot of people make mistake here. Careful, careful. Sure got a lot of people will make mistake here. Okay, whenever you multiply a bracket with a negative number, make sure that you change the sign. Okay, and then after that, what happens? Take a look. Okay, after that, the I and the I with this one. So 4 minus 6 will give you negative 2. And then negative 2j minus 3j, negative 2 minus 3 will give you negative 5j. Okay, so this one we want to solve a combination of vectors. Okay, to do that. So same thing, everybody. Another 10 more minutes. I'm going to ask you to answer this. Okay, number 1, 5i plus 7j. Okay, Meichi got it correct. Quite easy lah. Okay. Number 2, 14i plus j. Okay, so even if the answer is 1, don't have to write the number 1. Okay, just j alone will be fine. Okay, number 3, 3i plus 5j. Okay, very good. Number 4, minus I plus 4j. Okay, very good. As long as you remember, Remember that when you multiply a negative number with this one, make sure that the sign changes. Always very important. Okay, this one, the sign must change. Okay, and last one, number 5. Which one is the most difficult one? 5i plus 5 over 2j. See? Quite easy, right? Okay, of course lah. Now it's quite easy. Tomorrow we will. Okay, so for your homework today, let me tell you guys, your homework is going to be a bit heavy today because there's a lot of skills that you need to do. So this is the 3 sets of questions lah. Page 229, skills practice 8.7, question number 1. Page 231, skills practice 8.8, question number 2. And skills practice 8.9, page 233, question number 2 also. Okay, so as always, please answer these questions. Let me tell you, you will finish this in less than 1 hour. Very fast one. Everything that we have learned today, we're just going to practice again using these 3 questions.